So for this video, I actually want to go into how to plan for a bathroom remodel to actually save you some money, or how I save some money looking at a bathroom remodel. Keep in mind, you're not going to save on time. If you don't have much time to do this, there's a lot of different aspects you have to explore to make a decision on the bathroom remodel, whether you want to use a contractor or do it partly yourself. So a lot of time is going to be consumed in that. How much time you have will determine if you just pick a contractor and go with it, or go through the process and figure out if you want to try and see if this is something you want to do yourself, at least partially or fully. When I started thinking about this bathroom remodel, it took me about 3 months, I would say 3.5 months, to come up with the designs. Not only the layout of the bathroom, the plumbing layout, the electrical, how I wanted the electrical laid out in the bathroom, and also the HVAC, because I have to reroute ducting in the bathroom, because the vent that's coming into the bedroom now needs to go back into the bedroom because that vent is now in the bathroom. You know, things like that, and adding exhaust fans, electrical for the exhaust fans, all that comes under the HVAC. So I've actually pulled 4 permits. So keep that in mind. You don't want to do any type of remodeling work without a permit, because when you sell the house, if they catch you, if the buyer brings in a city inspector to inspect the house, which happened to me many years ago, the city inspector found some violations, not related to remodeling, but simple things that I would have never thought about, and I had to fix every single item to a tune of $4,000 to actually sell the house, or that house wouldn't have sold. So keep that in mind when you think of saving some money for remodeling permits. If you do it the right way, you have nothing to worry about. It increases the value of your house, and you can sell it right. You have to know exactly what you're looking for. You could always ask a remodeler to come in and give you some choices, but it's always good to know what you want. Do you want to go from a full bath? Do you want to expand the full bath? Do you want to go from a half bath to a full bath? Do you want to move fixtures around, you know, like a shower sink, bathtub, etc., toilet? Those are things to keep in mind, but you have to have a general idea of what you really want. If you're looking to expand it from an existing floor plan into a proposed floor plan, you would have to figure out exactly which rooms have to sacrifice some space so you can open up the bathroom space into those areas. That is one of the first things you have to look at on your own. Of course, have a remodeler determine that, but if you know exactly what you want to do, it saves the remodeler time, and it also saves you some money from having the remodeler tell you. I've had one remodeler actually come and tell me that I would need to move my chimney to open up the bathroom. Well, imagine how much cost that would be. When you're doing a bathroom remodel, you would be required to actually take out permits, and I would advise you not to skip on that. You will need a building permit to change the bathroom layout. You would need a plumbing permit to make changes to the plumbing. You would need an electrical permit if you're making changes to electrical for different lights, switches, exhaust fans, and other things. And then you would need a mechanical permit if you have to reroute HVAC ducting, or even add an exhaust fan. You would need a mechanical permit. For your bathroom remodel, the first would be probably the cheapest and easiest to do, where you're not removing walls or fixture locations. The second most expensive option would be actually where you're moving fixture locations but the walls remain in the same positions. And the third, probably the most expensive option, would be where you do change fixture locations and take down walls and put up walls, and also you would have to move the electrical in this case. As part of the bathroom remodel is probably sit down with your family and try to decide what exactly are you looking for in a new bathroom. Make a list of everything you need in there. If you want more space, list that in there, what you would like it to be. Can you sacrifice any space from other rooms? That you would have to list in there also. And also you need to do some homework on your end to figure out if your plumbing is up to code and your electrical is up to code. And you may ask, how do I do that? Well, I can tell you one thing for sure. If you live in a house that's 50 years old or older, there's a lot of things you may have to do before you can even consider a bathroom remodel, and that may drive your decision on whether you want to actually go through with it, because it's going to cost you some money. And what I mean by that is, if the plumbing, most of present day plumbing, you need a 3/4 inch supply line for the pipes coming into the house, or a 1-inch pipe depending on the state you live in. So if it's not 3/4 inch or 1 inch, then you have to upgrade all your lines coming into the house to a 3/4 inch or 1-inch hot and cold water piping. Again, the same thing goes for the drain pipes. You're supposed to have, showers must have a 2-inch drain. A lot of the older homes have only a 1.5-inch drain for the showers. If you tap into anything that's under code, you would have to upgrade that. And if you have cast iron pipes, it's going to just make it a lot more complicated. Same thing goes for electrical. Do you have a 100 amp panel? You're going to add additional circuits into that panel. You may need a 50 amp sub panel, or even upgrade the whole thing to a 200 amp panel to be able to add all the circuits you need for the new bathroom. For doing the bathroom remodel work, there's 3 ways you could do it. You could hire a general contractor who hires all the other subcontractors themselves and does the work for you. You can act as your own general contractor, and then hire plumbers, electricians, floor installers, and so on yourself. Or you could also, the third and cheapest option would be to act as a general contractor, hiring the subcontractors, but you also end up doing a lot of the work yourself. So that would be the cheapest option, but keep in mind the cheapest option comes with a cost of time. If you don't have time to do it, I would not even pick the third option, which is the cheapest. You need a lot of time. In my case, I'm doing a bathroom remodel, but I'm not even working full-time anymore because of it. I worked with several contractors for many different things. That includes plumbers, electricians, carpenters, you name it. Ones that you don't want to work with are usually contractors that come in and force you to sign on the dotted line after they give you a quote. If you receive any kind of high pressure tactics from any vendor or see reviews of them using that tactic, you want to avoid them at all cost. It takes time to make a decision on contractors. You don't want to be pressured into signing anything for any type of work. The other thing you also want to watch out for when it comes to general contractors is having them steer you to a certain design or type of bathroom. It's something maybe that you don't want. They tell you, well, this is what we can do at this cost. You're going to have to live with that. Or maybe you're planning to sell the house. You have to think of it from 2 perspectives. Are you going to sell the house, or are you going to keep it? And are you going to be happy with it? If you're selling it, do you think the buyers would even want that kind of a bathroom? One of the contractors that came and talked with me, he was trying to talk me into having 2 doors going into the bathroom. I don't really want 2 doors. I've always steered away from houses that have a bathroom with 2 different doors, 2 different entryways into the bathroom. So those are the type of things to keep in mind when you talk to a contractor. You would have to hire all the other subcontractors yourself, like the plumbers, electricians, floor installers, insulation installers, and so on. In this case, you would need more time to meet with each one of these vendors, and actually vendors or contractors, subcontractors, and actually get the quotes, have them look at the issues and make up the quotes. So plan on spending more time. You will save some money, but that's going to cost you in time. Just keep that in mind. One of the things you want to also keep in mind here, as if you were hiring a general contractor, is you don't want to work with any subcontractors that push their opinion on you, who do not listen to you and do not want to do what you want them to do. They want to do their own thing. You're going to have a tough time long term if you hire someone like that. So in the quote process, you eliminate those vendors or subcontractors that you feel that are going to be hard to work with. You just don't want to deal with that. because it's going to cost you more time, effort, and maybe even a lawsuit in the long run. One of the things, like I said before, you have to do your homework on the plumbing and the electrical. Make sure you meet the code. You would have to speak to the city inspectors, or in some cases also the state inspectors, to get this clarified. You need to draw up a bathroom remodel plan. You know, if your old bath and your new bath, you can do it by hand. There are guides on the internet that show you how to do it. There are YouTube videos. You can even do it on the computer. There are computer-aided software that you can do it on. You may also need plumbing and electrical drawings. It'd be good to have them so you have a good idea of how your plumbing and electrical is set up, but it's not necessary. Also, I would advise you to do a bill of materials. What that is anything and everything that's going into the project in terms of materials. That includes studs for the lumber, studs, insulation, drywall, toilet, shower, fixtures, you know, piping, anything and everything that someone has to buy to build your bathroom. You would need to include it in the bill of materials with the cost. I want to talk about some of the pitfalls that you have to plan for, and I'm going to use my bathroom project as an example. Like, you would plan everything on your drawing, you would know where the plumbing goes, where the electrical goes, but in my case, I had a wall I needed to remove. I found a vent line right in the middle of the wall, and that was not supposed to be there before. Somehow in the flooring they had actually changed the direction of the piping and brought it up in front of the toilet, so I couldn't remove that wall. So now I have to reposition that pipe to be able to remove the wall. And I had a floor, I removed the floor where I was supposed to run the drain lines for the new shower. I found there was air duct plenum right in that location, so now I have to again relocate, cut some new part of the flooring and try to relocate it in a different manner, even though it's going to be a little more complicated. So these are things I did not plan for. I also found out that I would have to drop the ceiling partly to allow for insulation to let air circulate above the insulation in my attic, because the insulation was actually sitting way too far up, blocking the airflow. These are all things I found out from the inspectors as I spoke to them, and I found these issues. But always plan for pitfalls that will increase your cost in some way, cost or time. In my case, it's costing me a lot of time now rather than money.